So a while back, I breadboarded this guitar boost, and today I put it together on this perf board. And the transistor is probably the wrong value. The HFE, which is the gain, I'm going to be looking into that and seeing if I can improve it. It sounds good. I like it. It's just a little bit dark sounding. Compared to, when you plug in straight to the amp. So a lot of decision making there for that. But I'll go ahead and say it's based off the LPB1 and probably just need a new transistor than the one that I have, and put it together pretty quickly. Breadboarding is always confusing because you got so many wires and all the pins are attached to each other. But, that's all part of it. And ran out of white wire, so I got to get some more wire, hookup wire. And yesterday I talked about putting the Theremin together, demonstrated that. So zooming out, we can see big mess on the table. And, I'm not going to demo this thing, but, as far as the boost, but I need one of those. I need to be able to step on something to get extra volume if I need it. And that's, I've been wanting one of those for a while. I've had LPB ones before that I bought, had a few that torn up. So figured I'd just go ahead and build something that's comparable to that. Anyway, that's all I have for now. So there is my boost. And I've been doing some reading and research on this thing. I put in a 500 ohm trim pot. And they said something about adjusting that particular resistor to give you the gain, and it does. So I've taken a little bit of the gain out of there. I wish I had the 2N5088, which is what's supposed to be in there. I took it apart and rebuilt it, and we can see that we got a power rail there with the red, and the ground is the white. So it's kind of like a plug and play breadboard, if you will, but on perf board. And, I've been demoing the thing tonight, and it sounds pretty good. I like it. I think I'm going to go with that for now and see if I can think about getting it in some sort of enclosure. Fit, believe it or not, in this, I think. So that might be an option. And then I got one more other option, which is some enclosures I've gutted. So ain't too much to it. You got the input, you got the output caps, resistors that give you the bias. That is a, what do I got in there? A BC547 is what I have in there at this present time. Way through the amp, it, if I go dry straight to the amp, it really has a lot of tone just taken out of it. You can't really get the notes to project. So that's what's cool about the boost, is you step on this thing and it just makes the notes sing. It's almost like a compression pedal in a way. Got a box here that I've opened up, and I'm going to put my bypass switch in there. And I was just listening to it, and so that's kind of how you go about it, is you figure out how you want your bypass switch to operate. And this will have no LED. I mean, you step on it, you're going to know it's working or not. You just remember to turn it off once you're done with your solo. And people look at you if you don't, because it'd be too loud. So it's just for soloing, trying to boost the notes. And there's the circuit board. You know, as you work on things, these wires come loose. That's just the way the operation rolls with these things. But there's my jacks. Got one labeled in, so that works out perfect. I know, what the cables look like too. The red cable is the out always on every one of these projects that I'm working on. So it kind of got me a system with all that. But this will be like, the LPB1 boost. It could be tweaked. I'm really losing the high end when I do this. It gives it too much of a warm sound. But it will have to do. I just want to be able to go and demo this thing. Right now I got it supplied with a 9-volt battery. Debating on whether to... I don't think I'm going to have enough room to go with the circuit and getting the battery delay out of the way and all that stuff. So I'll probably end up putting a DC jack right in there. And as we look to the side, it's already got one hole. So I got to drill another hole right there. And enlarge this one just a bit. And that's where my volume pot's going to go. It's a mini pot. So everything's kind of like working the way it should. Let's get a little guesstimation on the volumes. If I can do that with one hand without tearing something up. That should be the true bypass. So there's the volume on that. And then if I engage it, you can hear it increases the volume there. And what's great about this, mini pot, is it's got a center, so you know where that is, and then you can gauge it on how that's going to, where to set the volumes, before you get started with your performance or playing away. So there's your true bypass. Let's give it a little bit more volume so it'll stand out a little better. All right, I just bumped it up about 10% here. So you should be able to hear a noticeable difference. Yeah, definitely. Again, a little distorted, but there it is, true bypass. There it is engaged. True bypass, definitely a volume increase. As long as you don't get into the notes too hard, I think it'll do just fine. So I figured I'd document this. Take the green switch in there. That's a mini pot. Not a switch, but a mini pot. And kind of configured how I was going to get this thing in the box. I think I got an idea now. So at this point, I got the jack on the outside. That's the input jack. There's the output jack. See the red cable. And so it's going to go. But, sweating bullets just to make sure everything works. Like I said, I had a wire that came loose. I got to fix that. And anyway, there's the volume to it. Let me see if that's the bypass. Gotta be careful here. Yeah. Well, that was the... Okay, so there's the bypass. And while that's ringing, you can definitely tell that's louder. There's that volume drop. Definitely louder. All right, so I think I'm going to have this thing ready here in next 12 hours. Okay, here had to get to a good stopping point. You know, you start thinking about what you're going to do and just never can. You say, okay, well, the solder gun's going, got to get it done. All right, so anyway, finished up the bypass switch. That's just I got one of the prongs missing off of it. But anyway, I'm going to use it up. Because what else are you going to use it for? So, no LED on this thing. Like I said, you engage it, you will know it's on. It's kind of like a fuzz face kind of, situation. So that being said, I will be using a DC jack. That's just a power source for now. And so I got to drill a hole, say right in there. And then I got to drill another one for the input jack. And there's the output jack. Nice and tidy. I like the wiring I've done here. I could get that out of the way. Looks pretty clean. And there's the circuit. There's the back side of it, of course. And if I do that, maybe you can see some of the underneath it. Not much to the circuit. That's just a boost. I did add the trim pots, as I said on earlier videos. And as far as listening to it, let's see. There is the boost. And there's the bypass. Gotta be careful not let these things touch, or else it will just not work. So pretty soon we'll be able to get a good demo on it. And, some playing and all that stuff. The thing is, it's a boost, guitar boost, based on the LPB one. Got some trim pots in there to play with the volumes and all that. So it's not exact the way they have it. And I don't have the right transistor, but it will do. And, here's the volume. I think this is the bypass. Actually, that's not, it's a little strong there. Let me, take it down a notch. This is the bypass. And if I engage it, you can definitely hear the volume increase. Pretty noticeable, and I got that pretty loud. I would never play it that loud. And I just got to get it to fit in this box. And it's about on its way. So we'll be turning it over and looking at it here in a minute.